Welcome to the EverydayDrinkers.com podcast, video podcast. I'm your host, Derek Schomer, and today we're going to make what I consider the best margarita that you can get. Now, I'm sure you can put all kinds of funky ingredients in it. You can make peach ones, you can make cherry ones. We're going to make a standard margarita. We're going to use Cavallino Reposado. You can use silver, you can use like a Don Julio silver. It's good stuff, very expensive. This is harder to find. If you could find this, it's usually in Texas. It's a great brand for the price. It's like $17.99, whatever. It's very good. And so we're going to use Reposado because we're looking to get a little more flavor into the drink. We don't want a watered down, although silver works good, certain silvers, like Patron for instance, you won't taste a lot of tequila in it. If you don't like a lot of tequila, that might be the way to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some lime. This is about 1 ounce, so that's what we're going to need. So we can fill a shot glass or pour it directly in our pre-iced shaker. We're going to use a little Grand Marnier, not too much, just enough to kind of accent it and give it a little orange taste. The secret ingredient here would be the Partida agave nectar. A lot of people don't know about agave nectar, so they don't know to use it. It's going to give it a sweet flavor. It's going to counteract the bitterness of the limes. And we have the full bottle of Cavallino if we were to run low, but I'm thinking we can get away with just this. So let's get started. You're also going to need to have lime squeeze. Very important. We'll just do the lime right up front. Get it in here on the ice. Now, if you can find limes that'll fit in the lime squeeze, you'll probably be better off. Otherwise, it can be a struggle. Always worth it in the end. Squeeze them in. We're going to do both sides. If you find it's too hard, you could poke little holes into the innards of the lime and it'll make it easier to squeeze out. We're going to do almost, let's say, 3/4 of a shot of Grand Marnier. We'll do the agave nectar next. Again, 3/4 of a shot, or you can kind of judge it. This is your sweetener. So if you like a sweeter margarita, you can put a little more. If you don't like it too sweet, you can put a little less. If your limes are a little fresh, a little bitter, you can kind of add a little more of the sweetener to it to try and counterbalance that bitter bite you're going to get. If you're doing this for guests, more is probably better. They're not going to complain if it's a little sweeter, but they might complain if it's real bitter, especially if they're not a big margarita drinker. And we'll do 2 ounces of tequila. You can do 1 ounce, 1.5 ounces. I like tequila. I do 2. You could do 3, you could do 4. You could do as much as you want, but 2 seems to get a good round number, and people enjoy it that way, so I've never had anybody complain. Shake it up. You can pour it over a nice cold frosted glass with ice, or like I do. This is how I make it for myself. It's quick, it's easy, you're done. It should give you a pale green color. It's a nice green. It'll smell a little like tequila Grand Marnier with a hint of lime. You won't smell the agave nectar, but you'll taste the agave nectar. In this case, my lime's a little old. I probably could use a little more agave nectar. Overall, well balanced, well structured. Very tasty, and I think anybody you serve this recipe, they're going to be impressed. I'm Derek Schomer with EverydayDrinkers.com, the video podcast. We're teaching you how to drink.